Come on back to your Father's truth and return to the holy root. Come on back to the wisdom of home and realize that you're not alone. Shine your light like your mother said, for you were there when we were led. And there's a path for us all to see. Just grab that lamp that's at your feet. Etz Chaim Hi L'machazikim Ba B'Tom Cheha Me'usha. You can hear it, it's in the breeze. It's a story written in the leaves. And though those branches, they may wind and weave, it's a tree of life. Etz Chaim, Etz Chaim Hi L'machazikim Ba B'Tom Cheha Me'usha. Etz Chaim Hi L'machazikim Ba B'Tom Cheha Me'usha. So come on in and find a seat, light those lights that usher peace. You can feel it, it's in your bones. It's a growing song that calls you home. Etz Chaim Hi L'machazikim Ba B'Tom Cheha Me'usha. Etz Chaim Hi L'machazikim Ba B'Tom Cheha Me'usha.
Down the mountain with my drum in hand. I'll play you some tribal rhythms if you'll dance with me, my friend. We'll dance right in the moonlight, we'll dance right in the sand. Beneath these golden mountain tops, we'll dance right to the end. And we will hold our hand while we stroll. For you I give my heart, for you I give my soul. The miracle of you is the miracle of me. For you I give my everything. The miracle of you is the miracle of me. For you I give my everything.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Alcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Alcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon Chol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Alcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Alcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon Chol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Alcha Tasim
Shalom Rav, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Glad you could join us this evening. Want to give a shout out and a thanks to our intro musical artist this evening, this Shabbat, Abby Strauss. Before that, Mikey Parker, and before that, Joe Buchanan. Check them out on all available kinds of Jewish music outlets. Shalom Rabbi, good to see you. Oh, he's vanished mysteriously. We see the background, but not the rabbi. Let's see, maybe... Oh, there he is. He's coming in. There he is. Shalom, Rabbi. Sorry to surprise you like that.
Hi there. I was actually sending you a note that your volume was a little low, if you could adjust it at all. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Great to be with all of you from a hot day here in our area. I don't know what it's like in Buffalo, New York. Is it hot there too, Cantor Paul, or what's the
Right
weather?
now it's raining. It's raining a little bit. It was in the 70s today. I feel the Buffalo humidity. I have the window open, so I definitely remember this feeling from many, many years of trying to go to sleep before we got air conditioning for our little house in Amherst. So, but it's good to be here. It's very green. Cab driver remarked how last week it was brown, this week it's green. So I guess they've had a lot of rain these last few days. But good to be here. Dad's doing well, and you may see him go through the background. I don't know. We may have seen him already, and I just didn't notice. But
Well, I'm going to share our Siddur, and we'll start with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu.
So we will continue with the blessing over our Shabbat lights in just a moment. I'm going to read something first, and then we will light our candles. If you have candles at home and you haven't lit them yet, you're welcome to light them and sing the blessings along with us. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Take a moment to reflect on the week that has passed, to spend just a minute on each day and its challenges and its blessings. And then we'll come back together for L'chadodi. So we take a deep breath. Chazarat HaShavua, review of the week. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, you can turn your body toward the entry to your home, symbolically welcoming the Shabbat presence, the Neshama Yetera, the extra soulfulness that travels with us during Shabbat, into our homes and into our hearts.
Lechadodi likrat kalai alalai 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 b'nei Shabbat lehekabela. Lechadodi likrat kalai alalai 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 b'nei Shabbat lehekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad yishme'anu El HaMiuchad Adonai Echad Ushmo Echad L'Shem U'Tiferet V'Litfila L'Chadodi Likrat Kalai Alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat L'Hekabela L'Chadodi Likrat Kalai Alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat לקבלה לקראת שבת לכוון אלך כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נצחה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה יללי 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 בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה יללי 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 בני שבת לקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך ומאורי אורי אורי שדברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך אדוני לקראת קלה יללי 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 בני שבת לקבלה לך אדוני לקראת קלה יללי 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 בני שבת לקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי להדודי לקראת קלה יללי 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 בני שבת לקבלה להדודי לקראת קלה יללי 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 בני שבת לקבלה.
We continue with Chatzi Kaddish. If you have a book at home, we're on page 26.
יתקדל ויקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי וחייכון וביום אחד ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו
We rise in body or in spirit for Baruch Hu, our call to prayer.
Yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die die die. Oh, am I awake? Am I aware? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Oh, am I awake? Am I aware? Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Yadadai Dai Dai 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 Yadadai Dai Dai.
Last three lines in the Hebrew.
El Chai V'Kayam Tamidim L'Chaleinu L'Olam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai
Baruch Shemo.
Amariv Aravim.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me? Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery.
Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu u'ahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu u'ahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavadecha atasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch Ata Adonai Oelamo Israel.
Continue with Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך, ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Amen. We turn now to our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha.
So I'm going to do a bit of a different melody this evening. As many of you might know, tomorrow at the close of Shabbat, we begin Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, a day that's cloaked in sadness and in rituals of mourning and reflection, as we recall the many tragedies that have befallen the Jewish people throughout the millennia. One of the ways that we turn our sadness into a more hopeful attitude is with the final lines of the book of Echa, actually the second last verse, but it's something that we repeat even after we read the final line of the book of Echa. It's Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem. Return us, Hashivenu, and we will, O Adonai Elecha, and we will return, renew us as in days of old. So as we do quite regularly when there's a day of significance in our calendar, we apply a relevant melody to the Ichamocha, our song of freedom. I die, 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 I die, 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 yada, die, 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 yada, die, yada, die, yai, die, die, yai, die, die, yai, die, die, yada, die, yai, die, 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 yai, die, 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 yai, die, 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 die. Vichamocha vaylim Adonai, Vikamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot o sefer nora tehilot o sefer malchudecha ra'u vanecha bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Zeli anu ve'omeru Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We ask the Holy One to watch over us and to protect us, to shelter us with a Sukkot Shalom, with a shelter of peace, that we may lay down with a sense of wholeness and contentment and rise up with a sense of purpose every day. Hashkivenu.
So today's my youngest son's last Shabbat at camp. So I think I will invoke the melodies that they are hearing this evening. My oldest son, Rabbi's oldest son, will stay there. His daughter will return. And we wish them a safe journey. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, L'Shalom, Ve'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen, everybody. Amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, L'Shalom. Ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai haporeis sukkot shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
We give thanks for Shabbat. Join in singing Vishamru.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasod et ha-Shabbat lidoru tamerit olam ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Turn to our Amidah, to our Avot and Givorot and Kedusha prayers, and we'll do those three together and then have a little time for silent prayer and a musical offering by Dr. Randy Polvoy. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufiagi, Tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, Me'amin U'Mechayeh U'Matzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata LaHachayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please take a few moments for silent prayer for the text of your own heart.
Shabbat Shalom. I don't see myself on the screen.
You're there, Randy.
Oh, okay. I'm just up at the top. I'm not taking up the full screen. But that's okay. There we go. Okay, Shabbat Shalom, everybody, on this very warm, uncomfortable night, at least where I'm coming from. It just never fails to amaze me all the time we've been doing these Zoom services, how a person can be 3,000 miles away and just beam in on the service like they're right here. So, hi, Paul in Buffalo. The piece I'm going to play is Al Kol Ele, which translates for all these things, written by the Israeli songwriter Naomi Shemer in 1980 to comfort the loss of her sister's husband, actually, and it has become an incredibly popular tune in Israel. The song deals with taking the good with the bad in life and the bitter and the sweet. I'm sure a topic that we can all relate to. Shemer also uses the metaphor of the honeybee, who, although he makes honey, is also capable of stinging. So it's sort of a dual thing going on there. Again, the bitter with the sweet. And although the words are very meaningful on a personal level, they could also apply to the state of Israel itself, with being such a wonderful country, a beacon of hope, innovation technologically, also beset by problems within and without. So I guess the micro and the macro there. So this song is Al Kol Ele. The first couple lines read, every bee that brings the honey needs a sting to be complete, and we must all learn to taste the bitter with the sweet. Al Kol Ele. Shabbat
Thank you.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much. Let me just get the screen right here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Once again, Cantor Paul mentioned that tomorrow night begins Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, a day that commemorates the destruction of the temples, and in a sense is the day that is a container for Jewish collective mourning. Starting next Shabbat, the Shabbat after Tisha B'Av, we have 7 weeks of consolation. Next Shabbat actually has a name. It is called Shabbat Nachamu, the Shabbat of comfort. So this occurs every summer, the 7 weeks of comfort and consolation that follow Tisha B'Av and lead up to Rosh Hashanah. So it's also a countdown calendar in many ways. In Hebrew, the word for a synagogue is Beit Knesset, a place of gathering. How we have missed opportunities to be together in this last year and a half. How I have enjoyed the few opportunities that we have had the last couple of months to be together. How over this last period we took, how over the many years perhaps we took for granted the opportunity to welcome Shabbat with each other. I'm pretty sure it'll be a long, long time before I can be casual, take for granted being together in person. This week and the 2 weeks before are weeks of rebuke leading up to Tisha B'Av, the 3 weeks of warning that Jerusalem is about to be destroyed. So we have 3 weeks of rebuke and then 7 weeks of comfort and consolation that follow. And I'm intrigued that there are twice as many weeks, more than twice as many, devoted to comfort as there are to rebuke. And I think that speaks deeply to our human condition. It's so easy, I know, for me to get wrapped up in judgment of myself, judgment of others. It's so hard to assert kindness and gentleness, and yet that is what we crave the most. I pray that one of the things this COVID pandemic has taught us is to be much more appreciative of the blessings we enjoy in everyday life. One of which, for sure, is the blessing of a loving and supportive community, where do we find, excuse me, a place that we can find comfort and connection. Tisha B'Av commemorates the destruction of the first and second temples in Jerusalem. The temple was destroyed, according to the rabbis, because of sinat chinam, of senseless hatred. It came about because of our inability to appreciate the gifts of community. It was destroyed, and we mourned the loss of connection to our spiritual home, the place that exemplified the comfort that comes from connection to God, to holiness, and most importantly, to each other. After the temple was destroyed, Rabbi Yochanan said, "Do not grieve on this account, for we have another atonement for our sins. It is chesed, loving acts of kindness." Chesed, how we treat each other, is first and foremost in determining who we are. The temple was destroyed, according to tradition, because of senseless hatred, sinat chinam, and Rabbi Kook, the first chief rabbi of pre-state Israel, suggested that it would be rebuilt, not in my dreams, but in his, when we offer each other ahavat chinam, generous love, unconditional love. Nachamu, nachamu ami, we will read next week on Shabbat. Take comfort, my people. And this week, tomorrow night, we sit in our suffering, in our pain, in the challenges of that our people has suffered. Yes, we do suffer. Yes, in our own lives, our bodies and minds don't always work as they should. Yes, we don't always live up to our highest ideals. Yes, we are disappointed when others fail us, when we fail those we love. But by understanding that life itself is an amazing gift, we can cultivate gratitude. We can recognize the source of everything as our God. We can find strength in our connection to one another and the walking the path of challenges and celebration and pains and joy together. We can come to understand that we are connected to one another, all of us, and to the eternal source of blessing. And we can appreciate that we have a caring, loving community. And that truly, truly is something that can comfort us in challenging times. So today, we celebrate Shabbat. Tomorrow night, we sit and feel the pain in the world, the pain in the history of our people, the brokenness in our own lives. And then we redouble our efforts leading up to the new year to build communities of love and comfort, a place in which even when we suffer, we feel the love of those who are around us and others who help walk the path along with us. Shabbat Shalom. And we're going to turn now to our prayer for healing the brokenness in our world, for healing of body and mind and of spirit, as we turn our thoughts to all of those in need of blessing. I'm trying to get the Siddur to work, but give me a sec. As we turn our thoughts to all of those in need of blessing, and we hold them in our hearts.
Well, while Rabbi's working on the Siddur, I want to give a little Yasher Koach to Randy, and also mention that though he, I don't think, realized it, Naomi Shemer was evoking the words that close the book of Echa, Hashivenu v'nashuva, cause us to return, and we will return, as in the chorus of her song Al Kol Eileh. So it was a really appropriate choice for tonight. Thank you again. Oh, Holy One, who blessed our mothers, who blessed our fathers from ancient days, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem, Lehachzikam Ulrapeotam, Veishlach Lahem Refuah Shlema, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, B'toch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael, Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman and Bela Pasternak, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Paula Steinbach, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Ellen Weinfeld, Gabrielle Silton, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Gloria Austin, Caitlin Antrim, Judith Bosworth, Kathy Brewster, Jennifer Rudin, Susan Grohr, Marion Snyders, Kimberly Zimmerman, Brad Holland, Beatrice Caden, Meg Silton, Kirby Perkins, Serena Postal, Bobby Kay, Marilyn Freeman, Robert Strober, Marilyn Lubarsky, Joe Kummerman, Ira Quatcher, Ellery Einstein, Ken Mitchell, Patricia Kramer, Ann Hudson, Lois Goodman, Lavini Feldman, Neil Gerard, James Cecile, Jack Rogers, Esther Bespris, Joan Morse, Nomi Kravitz, Craig Sachs, Simon Saul, Jack Gingold.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Imalei Rachamim Aleichem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts. Hear our prayer as we say their names.
I'd like to invite Jeff Pass, our vice president of TBI. We have changing positions, vice president of programs for TBI, to share some announcements with you.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And thank you, Rabbi, for your stirring sermon tonight. And thank you to Cantor Paul. You were an especially good voice tonight. And always to Dr. Randy Polovoy for his inspiring musical selections. I want to call everybody's attention to the weekly e-blast that comes out every Thursday. You might be in the habit of just ignoring it because you know what's in it, but you'd be making a mistake because there's new stuff every week. It's really carefully curated and carefully written by a whole bunch of people who really want to get the word out about all the things that are going on. It's worth checking it out. It doesn't take very long to scroll through it. I guarantee you'll find something of interest. So for instance, you'd find out that for the first 3 Tuesdays in August, there's I think a very creative attempt to do some theater remotely, and it's called Turning Your Living Room / Zoom Room into a Stage. And we'll be working on a play by Nora and Delia Ephron, who are noted Jewish humorists and playwrights and directors and all kinds of good things. So that could be a lot of fun. So that's Tuesday nights. Wednesday night, coming up on the 28th, Dr. Gary Gilbert will be presenting a presentation on Israel's recent election. And if you have trouble sorting all that information out in the newspaper, Gary, it's a really fantastic opportunity to have an expert like Gary present what's going on, and there's plenty of room for discussion. And on Thursday nights is the Zoom Movie Club. So you got Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, and of course, Friday and Saturday. We know what's going on. Finally, I want to remind you to send in your pledges. It's the kind of envelope you set aside and you say, I'll get to it, but it's really important to get the word out. To get your information out there so we know who our members are, and we can start preparing the budgets. And it's important information there also for joining the Brotherhood or the Women of TBI. So make a mental note to attend to that, and I think everybody will be better off as a result. We're happy to provide all of these services to you, for you, with you, and it takes a concerted effort. So that's a step that you can take to help move that along. So Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much, Jeff. And lots of good things coming up. Again, as Jeff said, check that congregational email. There's always things. For those out there who might have kids in Beit Sefer, watch for a special email that's going to come out this next week about updates about what's happening with our Beit Sefer next year, and there'll be a parent meeting coming up. So keep an eye out for that so that you can be in the know as you move forward. Anything, Cantor, that you need to add or would like to add?
Only that, we've mentioned it a couple of times. Tomorrow evening, immediately following our Zoom Havdalah, which is a interestingly modified Havdalah that I believe Rabbi will talk about tomorrow night when you join him at 7:30. At 8 p.m., Rabbi Rachel Axelrad, our own Rabbi Rachel, who has made so many contributions to our community and who it will be taking on a new position in the community, a rabbinic position. We're very excited and pleased about that for her. But Rabbi Rachel will be leading our Tisha B'Av observance tomorrow at 8 p.m. The link is in that weekly update that Jeff just mentioned. So click on that and join Rachel for some interesting studies, some tefillah, and some moments of reflection. I know that the women of TBI, whom Jeff also mentioned, are looking to increase their membership. So if you are interested or want to have any questions about women of TBI, there's links also for that in the e-blast as well as on our website. Keep checking all of these things for all of the great stuff that's happening. And yeah, that's about all I have for right now. We'll be the plan, which I don't think is going to vary at all, is to join next Friday evening for Erev Shabbat outside on the Great Lawn. We will. That's not been affected, as far as I'm aware, by our recent pronouncements regarding indoor services from the County of Los Angeles. We've always asked for our outdoor services, since it is a blend of masked. We don't require any particular vaccination requirements there, that people remain masked. So that should be able to go on as planned next Friday evening, 7:30. And our Family Shabbat will be virtual, however, as I've explained to the Family Shabbat folks. That's it.
Thank you, Cantor Paul. We are going to move toward the conclusion of our service. Going to share with you the prayer book. We're going to turn to Aleinu L'Shabeach. If you're able to rise in body, please do so. Otherwise, we rise in spirit. Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, Latet Kedula Leotzer Bereshit, Shelo Asanu Kegoye Haratzot, Velo Samanu Kemishpechot Adama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam, Vanachnu Korim Umishtachavim Umodim Lifnei Malach Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol ha'aretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad. Muted, Rabbi.
Our thoughts turn to those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. Of course, in addition to those that I will read from our Yortzeit list and those who have died in recent days, We hold in our hearts all of those that we are remembering, those who were killed in the collapse in Surfside, those in our lives. We remember the recent deaths of Pearl Weiner, mother of Robin Manacero, Sali Saul, brother of Simon Saul, Miguel Angel Sancho II, father of Victoria Lobos, Edward Ansel, husband of Hannah Ansel. We remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Dolina Boer, Donna Bauer Babcock, Helen Gamblin, Paul Gayrin, Lieutenant Solomon Katz, Harry Stern, Samuel Boer, Harry Hoffman Sr., Alana Howard, Max Lerner, Joseph Rudnick, Molly Sherman, Faye Strober, Abraham Elias, Anna Eva Fried, Elsie Gideon, Maria Lucia, Robert Merkin, Jenny Rasmussen, Wallace Wright, Robert Geffen, Max Hauptmann, Ethel Horwitz, Florence Weinstein, Milton Weinberg, Ruth Mozelevich, Leo Perlman, Betty Sayer, Louis Sherman, Cheryl Snitzer, Evelyn Terry, Violet Tobias Cowan, Fred Burke, John Thomas Lennox, Evelyn Ray, Joseph Rubenstein, Harry Silks, Madeline Stewart, Sandy Feingold, Dora Kalb, Herbert Ross, and Jobel Sherman. We join in the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach irute v'amlich malchute. V'chayachon v'yomachon uv'chayei decho Beit Yisrael. V'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shmei dukudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiram bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Be'yado avkiduchi, ein ishan ve'a'ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira, Adonai li ve'lo ira. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Be'yado avkiduchi, ein ishan ve'a'ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira.
you have a cup of juice or wine, invite you to grab it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemaaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikraye kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai v'kadesh HaShabbat Chaim.
L'chaim.
Oy, was I?
Challah. Looks really big here on the screen. It's not really such a big piece of challah when you put it up there.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. Reminder, we have Havdalah at 7:30 tomorrow evening on our Zoom Siyum channel, and then a Tisha B'Av service at 8 o'clock after that. And that is, the link is in your congregational email. So take a look at that and join us. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom from Ir Malka, the Queen City of the Great Lakes. See you soon.